Hello, my name is Sean Wright, and I will be presenting my persuasive speech on the minimum wage war between college students and the U.S. government. Excuse me. It is inspiring that every single state has the power to control how much an individual can get paid hourly, no matter how much labor is put into his or her job. Since 1930, the minimum wage has been a cornerstone of the United States labor laws, and President Bill Clinton has allowed states to determine their own minimum wages since 1997. And this is important because college students in particular cannot afford school and everyday expenses because of low minimum salaries that jobs provide to them. And despite working part-time or full-time jobs in college tuition increases every single year, making it difficult for students to finance their personal lives with their educational lives. And according to College Board, revenues must pay half the reported tuition at a conventional private school and several $1,000s more than educational costs and expenditures at a public college. And the many expenses that college students would need on a daily to monthly basis would have to be, that has nothing to do with educational value, would be rent, food, basically wants and needs. Wants is basically residential things such as furniture, appliances inside of an apartment or house or dorm, wherever they live at. Will also need to buy other residential items such as umbrellas during the rainy seasons, clothes if they're in a cold, if they're in a cooler environment, either clothes that fit that environment or a warmer environment, clothes that fit that environment. So on top of the expenses of college students to actually buy their, not buy the tuition, but to afford the tuition to actually go to school and enroll, books, tablets, other technology that they would need, and other programs or software that they would need in their classes, they will also have to provide money for their own residential lives to make the transition from going from home to college life as simple as possible. And I feel like that minimum wage that's offered around $7 to $8, that's just not going to cut it to provide a smooth and safe and as financially feasible transition for college students. And I feel like what we could do about it is the U.S. government should install a nationwide minimum wage of at least $20 to $25 through a bill from Congress. And I feel like a bill from Congress that raises the minimum wage of to $20 to $25 would benefit tremendously for college students through just the fact that there would not be as much stress on them and their families to either have more than one job to provide for themselves, either at home or in the transition of going to college. And it provides less stress on the college students' parents without them thinking about, well, we have enough money to pay for tuition and pay for housing, residency, lunches, basically any type of transaction that would take place in college. That $20 to $25 minimum wage might just possibly be the difference between a student and family either going to college or just saying they'll take a gap year and go back home and work and hopefully go back to college at a later date. And I feel like that bill of raising the minimum wage would be beneficial to business owner profits as well. And a higher employee turnover level due to low wages cause business owners to waste considerable amounts of money. So if the turnover level is higher, that means business owners will have to use more money to provide more people to apply to their jobs through marketing, commercials, basically signs, anything that can get a person to apply to their job. However, if the minimum wage is risen to $20 to $25, they could see a lower employee turnover rate, because if employees are getting paid that amount of money they feel like they should get paid, there would be no reason for them to either quit or just leave their job to find a better paying job. And an example of this actually is the fact that Walmart increased their workers' wages to $9 just for that profitable reason. And in this example, when Walmart increased their salary to $9 in the early 2010s, the amount of employee turnover was very low, because at that time that $9 was significantly higher than other companies. So when they saw that they was getting paid $9, a lot of employees were thinking, what was the point of me leaving? A lot of employees were thinking, what was the point of leaving this company if we're getting paid $9, doing the same amount of labor that I would be doing in another company, getting paid $7.25. So they decided it would be better financially and physically and mentally just to stay at Walmart. And I feel like we need to handle this issue head on, because minimum wage needs to be raised due to the fact that the cost of living has been rising consistently every single year. And according to Forbes.com, the cost of living has basically increased so much in an exponential rate due to the amount of people on the population and other inflationary means, that the price of milk in 2005 is basically double the price of milk right now. So if the price of milk back in 2005 was $3, as of right now it would be $6. And then in another 5-10 years, $12, $24, etc. And if the cost of living keeps rising yearly while the amount of pay remains the same, the citizens will not be able to afford anything, which will only mean that there's less money circulating in the economy. And if there's less money circulating in the economy, that would just lead to more inflation. Because if there's more money inside of people's pockets and it's not getting put out into the economy, the price of products will only rise, because they need people's money. Because they need the government and corporation will need the people's money to basically reimburse them, not the environment, the economy. And what we should do about this is that if we do not want to continuously stress about whether or not you'll be able to make ends meet, I'm calling for you to contact your local congressman or congresswoman and ask them to make a bill that will propose a $20 to $25 minimum wage bill that would benefit not only you, but every citizen and college student looking to support themselves and their families in whatever life goals they have. And to conclude, I just feel like the minimum wage should be risen to $20 to $25, because the amount of money that college students will need to just afford to comfortably transition from a house to college life is so significant that the usual $7.25 to $13 is just not going to cut it. And if it will cut it, that means the college students will either have to work during their college semesters, or the parents will have to make ends meet or cut other losses just to provide for their kids. And in conclusion, this is my persuasive essay on the minimum wage war between college students and the U.S. government. Thank you.